I don't think there's a person walking in Jamaica right now that can buy a car that should buy anything else but an EV.
It accelerates and pulls you like what you see in one of those space movies.
Because to buy an Audi is actually a dream, and you're allowing persons to actually achieve that life dream.
This is the iX. This is a model solely EV.
This unit will actually take you from 0 to 100 in 3.3 seconds.
This is crazy.
Passenger display, the driver display.
The car is on right now. I don't even understand what this feels like.
To charge your car is working out a lot cheaper than to actually purchase petrol.
Hello Throppers, and welcome back to another special video feature. And for those visiting for the first time, my name is Winthrop Wellington, and here on my channel I help you move to and invest in Jamaica. And today we have a truly special one for you lined up. As Jamaica continues to grow and progress, of course we want to make sure this progress is done in a sustainable way as possible. And while I always encourage you to consider investing and relocating here to Jamaica, once you do so, you'll of course need a reliable way to get around. And that's where today's focus comes in, electric vehicles. They're quickly becoming the future of Jamaica's transportation, and without question, leading this charge is ATL Automotive and their suite of top-tier vehicles. To give you an inside look at the electric vehicle landscape in Jamaica, I traveled here to Kingston to sit down with the top experts of ATL Automotive to learn how these vehicles work and which one might be the best fit for you. So sit back, relax, and power up for the future, because today, we're going electric.
I'm Sloan Jackson. I'm the head of business for BYD, BMW, and Mini. I'm born and raised in Kingston, but I've spent a lot of my time throughout Jamaica based on my previous life. I used to be a researcher. I'm the expert for reptiles in Jamaica. So if you find a lizard or a snake that you can't really identify, more often than not, they'll ask me to help identify it.
What would you say, like, the biggest hesitation or misnomer that people have about
Range.
range?
And I'll be honest with you, like, people don't really have a clue of what the range is. And to be very fair, in cars prior to this, they never had to. It was more along the lines of how quickly can you get from one gas station to the next and how far across they are. And we have over 300 gas stations in Jamaica, and you'll never be more than 5 kilometers away from a gas station, regardless of the quality of the gas station. We have 115 points in which you can charge a car in Jamaica. Most of them are actually 2 points at the same location. I think one of the other things that people need to be more mindful of now is the cars that we're bringing in are better. Majority of the cars that we have can give you north of 400 kilometers range, and a single trip from Mansion Hill to Negril is not 400 kilometers. So going one direction to get where you need to get to, you're not going to cover 400 kilometers. There are charging stations there. You can charge and you can come back. A gallon of fuel can take you probably 30, 40 miles. To go to the gas station and to get a gallon of fuel in Jamaica is going to cost you over $1,000. For the same $1,000 in our EVs, you could get 200, almost 300 kilometers in some of our cars. And it's going to take you about the same amount of time, because a typical gas station visit is 5 to 10 minutes. At a super fast charger, in 15 minutes, for example, in one of our Minis, you get 215 kilometers of range in that time. And that's going to cost you $1,500 in charge. So
As far as like the math with spend,
there's no comparison. The whole thing with EV is significantly better. And it's now, apart from range anxiety, then there's this question of people whether or not they want to have an EV. And just living with the whole thing of not hearing the car. Living with the whole thing of, how to maintain it, because not everybody can maintain your car. You can't just go to a man on the side of the road and have your car fixed. You do have to have trained high voltage technicians, which we do.
And as you bring up maintenance, what would you say are some of the main differences between a traditional vehicle and an electric vehicle?
Grease.
Okay.
Grease and belts. There's a lot less wear and tear parts in an electric car because everything is always connected. There's no separate moving part. So it's always in use. Whereas you can have a car that sits in for too long, belt gets old based on just sitting for too long. You have parts that need grease because they need to be grease in order to lubricate them to turn. You have wheel bearings, you have stuff like that. You have a lot less of those maintenance parts that are wear and tear parts that you're going to have to change, which is a part of our everyday life with petrol and diesel, but it's not the way with electric. And the other thing is just significantly less time that you have to come in to service and way less costs. So really, who should be hesitant to do EVs should be the dealers, because we run our business where we service cars. And you have service providers outside of us, but we are very much embracing the EV side of it.
And who would you say the EV vehicles are for?
Everybody. I don't think there's a person walking in Jamaica right now that can buy a car that should buy anything else but an EV. And I'm saying this as somebody who prefers a sports car. I prefer the sound of a car. I prefer the theater that comes from like a nice V8 or inline 6 or V12. But there's no denying the straight line performance of an EV. There's no denying the convenience of it. And then the strangest part for me going back and forth between EV and a petrol is I know I'm used to charging my car while I drive and getting range back, going downhill, doing other things like that. In my regular gas car, there's no way to get range back. So BMW and Mini share a lot of the same things, but we're going to focus on BMW. So BMW has the widest range of electric vehicles that we have in the market right now. We have on the sedan side, we have our i4, we have the i5, we have the option of the i7. When you go to the SUV side, we have the iX1, the iX2, the iX3, we have an iX, which is behind me, and very soon there might be more models that are coming out. For BMW, you do get very nice service package. And what BMW, and again, Mini, is known for is our service package covers everything. All the parts, all the labor in Jamaica is free. So that's a beautiful thing to have. And with electrics compared to the petrols, our petrol cars or diesel cars are done either by mileage or by time. So normally our service packages would be like a 3-year service or 40,000 kilometers. That's the most popular package. With an EV, it's 4 years, unlimited mileage. But I will give our government some credit. They put some things in place. There are tax credits where if you buy a hybrid, it's a lower tax than a regular car. And if you buy an EV, it's even lower tax than a hybrid. They have empowered customers. Like, for example, if you want right now, there's a solar credit. I can get up to 30% of my spend on solar back in my pocket through income tax. And we don't have tax returns in Jamaica for those of us who are visiting. You don't have a way really to recover any taxes that you're paying except NHT. But that's another one that you can recover. And you can recover out of that 4 million max spend, you can recover 1.2 million out of that. There's also a government entity, NHT, which are giving customers an up to $1.5 million on a loan to buy solar. So if you're thinking about it in terms of your total spend out of like 4 million, 1.5 would be covered by NHT, 1.2 you'll get back as a tax credit. So you're paying the difference, probably 1.3 million.
For those folks who are considering buying an electric vehicle, what advice would you have to give?
So there's a couple of things I would say to you. One, the stuff that you're thinking about that you have questions with, our team is equipped to answer them. So ask all the questions you want. Asking these questions and getting the answers will make you more comfortable and will make the purchase, you're making more of an educated purchase. Two, we as a dealer would not bring these vehicles in if we didn't think they were viable. It absolutely makes no sense for us to bring a car that we think is not going to serve you well. The range anxiety is not what you think it is. You have a lot more charges now than we started with when we just started this program 3-4 years ago. It's a lot easier, but ask all the questions you want. You get all the information you need. We do offer the service. We do train our staff. We have trained technicians. We tool our shops. We have both locations, both Kingston and Mobay, and you can come and use our cars. So the biggest turning point is as much as we have way more charging stations than we've ever had. We also now have fast charging stations across the island. We have super fast charging stations at least in the 4 corners, because there's one in Kingston, there's one in Discovery Bay, there's about to be one in Montego Bay, and there's one near Mandeville. So where you are, you have access to this super fast charger. We still don't have chargers in St. Thomas. We still don't have chargers in St. Mary. We have no charging station in Trelawney. We have no charging station in Hanover. I also think if we had charging stations on the interior of the island, because all of our charging stations for the most part are along the main roadways and not on the interior, so that when we get more charging stations than gas stations, I think we'll have the people push towards EV. Right now we have over 300 gas stations in Jamaica and we have 115 charging points, some of them in the same location. If I look at the actual charging stations in terms of locations, we have less than 70. I think also if we get a lot more providers and a lot more competition in the space with solar charging stations, stuff like that, just like how we have Total, Rubis, all these variations in Jamaica, it would also, again, make it more interesting.
So do you think that is an opportunity for an entrepreneur?
It is an opportunity for an entrepreneur. It's also an opportunity for somebody who probably does it overseas right now, that's living in the diaspora, that wants to look at possibly coming back. It's an opportunity for them. It's an opportunity for our local people here that they could look into owning, just like how you have individual owners of the gas station, separate and apart from the operators. Like Rubis is the operator. They are the, so to speak, the brand behind it. But the person who owns the Rubis in the middle of nowhere down in, Junction, they're the owner of their gas station. Why would you buy gas? You know how expensive gas is? I bet some of our customers are spending, and I'm not joking, some of our customers are spending $300,000 to $600,000 a year. I know one particular model outside of our group is one of the worst fuel efficient cars in Jamaica. These people can spend $80,000 to $90,000 a month on fuel. Why would I not buy an electric vehicle if that's my fuel bill? It's ridiculous. The other thing I would encourage is come and test drive the car. Like, to experience some of the things I've said to you firsthand, like we talk about one pedal driving where you lift your foot off the pedal and the car starts to brake. The other thing is the car behind me can park itself, and this car behind me has the most advanced parking feature that you have. You literally just pick the parking spot. It allows you to pick from one of several parking spaces. You select it, you take your hand off the steering, you take your hand off everything, and you just sit there and the car does everything. But this sounds great, and it looks good on YouTube, but to sit in the car and experience it firsthand is a whole different experience. And it's something I would welcome the customers to see. So right now, some stuff for Mini that's exciting. We still have the most affordable electric car at Mini. We start at $4,995. We have a few of those left. We now have introduced the new hatchback, which we do have here. We have the Countryman Electric behind us, and we are going to bring the Aceman later this year. We'd love everybody to come down to that event when we do eventually have it and come into the cars firsthand. We do have the vehicles both in Kingston and Montego Bay. So if you're on that side of the island, if you're returning as a resident, please feel free to visit any one of our dealerships Monday to Friday, and we'll be happy to give you a test drive, walk you through the cars, and allow you to see the difference between what it's like to own one in Jamaica versus bringing one in yourself.
Well, my name is Eric Smith. I'm a senior sales executive at Audi Jamaica, Kingston. Originally, I'm from Central Jamaica, Clarendon.
Where'd you go to school?
High school is the best high school in Jamaica, Clarendon College. And then I went to the University of Technology. The most important role for this job is the customer. And then once you have a love for people, you love to see persons accomplishing their dream. Because to buy an Audi is actually a dream, and you're allowing persons to actually achieve that life dream. And so once you have the customer interest at the forefront, it makes selling a car very easy. Automatically, once you start to work for Audi, becomes biased to Audi. So no matter what you may have been interested in before, you're automatically captivated by the brand. So we will tell you directly that this is the best brand of car. It's the best driving experience you will actually have when you're thinking of driving a car. You can get the best of all the different world. If you need something that is sporty, you can find it in an Audi. If you need something that is sleek in design, you can find it in an Audi. And then we have the best all-wheel drive system in the entire world, second to none, which is Quattro. And for the Jamaican market, we also love to brag about our safety. Audi has a 0 fatality rating in Jamaica. So no one has ever met in an accident in an Audi in Jamaica and actually come out on the other side. And we have seen some very scary situation where accident is concerned in Jamaica. And if you think of an Audi, you're driving one of the safest cars out there. What I like to share with persons is that Jamaica is really a small landmass. So it's not as large as the wider world. And with the vehicles that we have to offer, you're able to move from one point. So you can move from Kingston to Montego Bay and back on a single charge. To support you though, once you purchase an electric vehicle, we offer you a charging station for free. So we'll set up a charging port at your home or at any location you would have decided that you'd want that charging station to be. And then we're also supported by Evergo, and we're also supported by JPS. So in all major parishes, there's an area in which you can actually stop and charge your car if need be. So far, we're actually seeing where to charge your car is working out a lot cheaper than to actually purchase petrol. What we have seen so far is that, to charge at home, when you do use that option, it may add an additional, say, $4,000 to your light bill. If you charge 4 times for the month, that's $16,000. And I'm pretty sure right now there are persons who are spending more than $16,000 where petrol is concerned. The more electric vehicles persons will see on the road, the more persons realize how the cost saving, how much they will actually save in their pocket when they go electric. I think that will actually break the frame of mind. Bear in mind, Jamaica is a world that loves cars. You do have persons who still love to hear the throttling of the engine, and then you do have those persons who like to drive in peace and quiet, which is what the electric vehicles tend to offer. But in time, when persons realize how inexpensive it is to maintain an electric vehicle, then I think that will change the frame of mind for most persons.
My name is Rashida Gopi. I'm a senior sales executive at Porsche Jamaica, and I'm actually the Porsche brand ambassador for Jamaica globally at the moment. The only sales one at the moment.
I don't know if this is true, but I believe it's the most premium car brand in Jamaica as well.
I would call it the most personalized. To use premium for Porsche is to put it in all categories of what everyone considers as premium. Not that I'm saying that we're above. However, we sell dreams. And if you dream something, we can build it. It will cost a lot, but we can build it. But we also have those dreamers who are just starting off and still want to become of what the brand represents. And there's also items and vehicles available that's within that price point for persons who are aiming for the top of the pyramid.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. You're good. Wow. Honestly, I remember when I first heard that Porsche was coming to Jamaica. I'm gonna be honest. I was just like, who can afford these cars? Who's gonna be buying these vehicles? It's like maybe I had the same ignorances that some of the people who weren't watching my channel before had in terms of the success, the real success that is in Jamaica and it comes from the core of Jamaica. And I thought after a while that this brand represented that in like a really, really big way. And I can tell you, I was very proud, extremely proud that this was coming to Jamaica, that this was in Jamaica. And it just said a lot about where Jamaica was at the time and where Jamaica is headed.
Right.
And how did you feel about it when you first came on board?
Initially, because I'm not very technical, I sell on aesthetics, really. It's one of the biggest things, and warranty, which is the lifespan of the vehicle. And we do have the highest level of warranty you can possibly purchase into. Most places stop at 5. We go all the way to 15. A customer can be outside of warranty after 6-7 years and still can decide to opt to buy into another 2 years and still get what it is that you will get. So coming into the brand, learning, because the models have so many tiers to it, and it's with engine and performance because the brand is driven by performance in its DNA. So it's really a sports car, it's really a sporty brand, and learning all of that was one of the biggest things and still is because you're constantly learning new stuff. The brand also is a type of brand where once something is being launched, all of us actually have to go to Mexico to train on all new models. The brand itself is driven by making people's dream big, and while doing so, making you feel at home and not feel excluded. Our EV vehicles have been launched last year. The good thing and the benefit of it coming last year is that Taycan was out from like 2021. All of our customers get a Evergo card, which is a fully loaded card for 1 year. And what this does, you download your Evergo app. It shows you all of the charging stations as island-wide. You would recommend for customers who may want to go to Negril and to come back at 395 range on a turbo versus 360 on a regular Taycan, you know, by the time they get to the grill, they've probably, based on their driving dynamics, finished up with the battery. Because if you drive at a normal pace, you can get there and still have about 110 kilometers to go. But if you are one of those people who's going to, in Jamaica, in terms of wire the road, just like when you wire it with gas, it burns more. It's going to drain the battery a little bit faster than it should. And most of our customers are very dynamic drivers on the road.
Understood.
So you would always want them to know where the level 3 charger is, because most of our clients are also business owners and they travel back and forth. So that's also usually a concern, where can they go to get it charged quickly, especially if they have to run to Montego Bay. It can take it to Montego Bay and back to Kingston safely. But if you're one of those persons who are doing road, as we Jamaicans call it, and you're going to wire the road, which is going very fast, you will probably get to Montego Bay and need to recharge.
I see.
Yes.
And can you give us some feedback on what your new clientele who are owning their first electric Porsche?
In our Taycan, I think one of the main things that's there right now that most people don't have is that we have a passenger display. So what this does, it allows your passenger to have their own time to listen to their own music, to do what they want to do from that side of the actual thing. It also have a technology in it that allows you to pre-cool the car. Behind me, this is a regular Taycan. This one is a Taycan GTS. I'm not sure if you're able to look at the lights and focus on the lights properly, but if you pay attention, there's no blue tone in this light. Can you see that?
Yes, yes.
But there is a blue tone in this one.
Yes.
This is because this is the LED matrix light. And it also gave them the option to actually match the blue that is on the color of the car within the color of the light. So that's also one of the cool features as there. The LED matrix lights, one of the most fun things to have on the car. You know, I call it the polite light. Some people call it the dancing light. You really don't get to see the beauty of it unless you're really on a dark country road where it corners for you, it brightens, auto dims, where you're not blinding the person, but the person still is not blinding you. While you're driving, if you're going down a hill, it started using kinetic energy to help recharge the battery. So it does have regenerated energy going within the battery.
Should you get a home charging station as well?
Of course, we are Porsche. We install, we do a site inspection. We come, we install, we put your charging port. If the customer wants one at their home, one at their business place, we offer that also. And like I said, you also get your own Porsche Evergo card. But the good thing about the charger port that you're getting is actually something that's portable. So you can actually, what you get is a base, but the actual port, which I'm not sure if you can see it back there, you can lift it out and put it in your car and travel with it. So that's also another thing that you can do. Please visit our Porsche website at Porsche.com. Once you go onto the Porsche.com, you're going to see a little Jamaica flag. You can configure your car of your dreams from there. And all the prices there is actually in US, and it's a cost of the car inclusive of tax here in Jamaica. Use the exchange rate of 160 to come to the Jamaican rate of what it is. So the Porsche.com. And to see what we have available on the island, on that same page, scroll down to the bottom, I think it's next to Discover Porsche, there's a Porsche Finder. Select the Porsche Finder and you will see all the units that we have available here.
When I think of BYD, Build Your Dreams, I think of a global brand that could really push this electric car revolution to the next level. So much so that even Elon Musk said that they are outpacing his electric car company at a rate that he's admitted he cannot keep up with, and he doesn't see, essentially, he doesn't see a way in which he can compete with BYD. With that being said, like when I first heard that this company was in Jamaica, was coming to Jamaica, I'm like, yes, like this is exactly what we need, and we need to push this thing out as much as possible. And so What did you think when you heard and knew that BYD was coming?
I mean, I was a little bit more involved with this. A little bit. We were on our way to China to go and look into the brand. Actually went to China, got a chance to go to Shenzhen, where the company's based, the headquarters. Got to see what it looked like when a car dealership is the capital, so to speak, of the operation. You have like 30,000 people living where the cars are built, round the clock staff. You got to see the amount of R&D that they put into the brand, the amount of, different people at different levels of skill set and the technical side of it that go into building these cars. And I've seen factories before. I've been to all the different factories around the world. And the fact that they've gone almost 100% EV, they still produce a few hybrids, but pretty much everything is electric.
It seems like we need a cultural revolution as it relates to the mindset to vehicles.
Yes and no. So Jamaican people are unique. We like the best of everything. One of the reasons why BYD is opaque to them is not just because of the technology, but it's the affordability. You can buy into this a lot easier. You can get into a wider range of products at the same price range. We have a 500 horsepower car that's less than $12 million Jamaican. $12 million Jamaican can buy you a BMW or can buy you just the entry level. We're talking about the highest performing BYD with every single feature fitted and a BMW right across the way. You would be in the entry level product. And across, even at Audi and down the road at the other brands that are offered, that quality of product would cost you significantly more at those brands. So that's one of the things that BYD is offering the customers, the beauty of the product, the performance that you're supposed to get, and the price point of a regular car.
And what are your BYD customers saying their experience with their vehicle?
I think what shocks them the most is what they're getting for their money in terms of the performance. A lot of them are coming from cars that are at a lower performance level in terms of speed and acceleration. So the performance is the first thing that jumps out at them. The next thing is the quality of the build. It's premium product at regular pricing. It's the best deal that you can ever think of. It's pretty much as Jamaica as you can be. We want the best of everything, but we want to pay less for it. Here you go. That's this. We want to experience the best that we can, and BYD does offer you that experience. You get to experience all the latest technology. You get all the features standard in the car. There's not a version of the cars that we sell that have less of anything. You get 360 cameras on pretty much every single car that we have. That's a nice technology to have. I have to pay extra for that on every other brand that we sell in our group, every single other brand that we sell throughout Jamaica. Those things are standard. All the safety features are standard. Some of our brands across Jamaica, some of the safety features are optional. BYD, everything is standard. And we can't take stuff like that for granted. This car also has autonomous driving. You can go to the steering wheel and the car can steer itself. I'm not saying that you should do it, but it does have the safety feature that allows it to happen, that takes control of the car and allows the car to steer itself. You also have intelligent cruise control, that when we're doing these wonderful long field processions where you're driving 2 or 4 miles to rest your family member down where they need to be, you can have the car intelligently pick up on the car in front of it, and it will slow down and speed up with the traffic. It would also go all the way down to 0 and move off again. All of that is in this car. These are standard features for these cars. And as you said, it's very exciting for a brand like BYD to be available in Jamaica, and then to be available from the best dealership in Jamaica, the #1 dealership in Jamaica, like ATL. And what we're putting behind it, we are putting dealerships, we're putting training, we're putting the best people in front of you. We're making sure you get the best experience when you come across our brand and you get a chance to experience our vehicles. And we have test drive units now. So I'd love to invite everybody in and have them get experience it for yourself.
Thank you all so much for joining me on this super fun adventure. And as we've learned, electric vehicles are not just about cool technology. It's about a greener, more sustainable Jamaica for all of us. And if you have any questions on electric vehicles or any of the vehicles featured in today's video, please feel free to reach out to ATL Automotive. They are ready to help you, and make sure you let them know Throb sent you. And if you aren't already, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out a lot. And share this video with a friend if you think they can benefit from it. And as always, I'm Winthrop Wellington, here to help guide you on your path to moving to and investing in Jamaica. Stay charged up and keep driving forward. See you in the next one. Peace. And I personally believe that EVs are the future of Jamaica.
So what you're looking at is really and truly zero emissions. We're saving the environment. We have with us today the Q8 e-tron, the Porsche Macan, or the EV5 from Kia as well, BYD Sound Plus Mini, Cooper, this is the S, the electric version. We have the i4 as well. And JPS also brought some of their vehicles.
We see a Jamaica that's a far more sustainable one, a far more resilient one, and there's no way we believe that Jamaica on its own, without all its partners, can get to that shared vision.